Further complicating the picture, tonight the Israeli military say Hezbollah have fired further drones and rockets across the border into northern Israel.
I don't believe anything that Israel says in regards to rockets being fired into their country. Again, I have to stress, where are your borders and where exactly in northern Israel did these rockets land? Was it at the castle that you retook in South Lebanon by any chance? Please let me know in the comments.
I'm as real as a real can get. What you see?
Buongiorno freaks and geeks, welcome back to the channel. So it would seem the war is over. All the hostilities will be behind us once America and Iran sign the peace deal on June the 19th. Now, this is what's been reported in various news outlets. Whether this happens remains to be seen. And guess what? One entity which definitely doesn't want this to happen is Israel. And you know, they show this by their actions, their words, just their very existence, to be honest. Two things which are really interesting about this peace deal is that this deal doesn't include Israel, even though it was America and Israel that started the initial attack on Iran during negotiations, mind you. And the second thing, if true, is absolutely mind-blowing, is that America has promised $300 billion for a reconstruction fund going to the Iranians. In my opinion, the only reason Israel would not be a part of this peace deal is because it is a satellite state and a metaphorical son to the United States, if you ask me. And one thing that spoilt children always do, they always try and mess it up for their parents. So this is what Israel has done, mainly in and around Lebanon. So Channel 4 did a short segment on this. I'm going to press play on that right now. But before I do, please don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and tell me down below, what does this mean going forward for not only Israel's presence in West Asia, but Iran's presence on the world stage?
On
the eve of a potential US-Iran deal that could end the war, Israeli missiles hit southern Beirut this afternoon.
Of course, the Israelis knew that this deal was on the brink of happening and felt, let me throw this human-sized spanner into the works. I mean, such is the actions of a petulant child that usually gets everything they want in their area of the house,
raising fears that such attacks could derail and undermine negotiations. 2 people were killed and 4 others were injured in the strikes, but the survivors refused to give in.
We stayed here and didn't flee throughout the whole war. We're not afraid. We will not leave our home no matter what happens. But today, we didn't expect this targeting to happen.
I think that really speaks to how much the Lebanese people are enduring and are not ready to leave their ancestral land, which is a massive sign of strength, in my opinion. But also, I don't think the world would be very welcoming to them if they did suddenly become refugees. I mean, they are going up against Big Satan and Little Satan, as known in some circles. So yeah, stay strong, Lebanese people.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said this is in response to continued attacks from Hezbollah on northern Israel. Iran has repeatedly insisted that Lebanon must be part of any broader agreements.
Of course, like Iran and Lebanon, especially Hezbollah, are allies. Why would they leave their allies out in the cold? That's not what they do. That's more of a Western/American thing to do. Furthermore, when you say northern Israel, what the hell are you talking about? Because as we've seen in previous videos, Israel doesn't have defined borders, and they've just decided to occupy South Lebanon. So is that what they mean by northern Israel? Because Hezbollah has decided to send rockets at them to make them get out of their country's borders. I would love to see where they believe, or Benjamin Netanyahu believes, where northern Israel is right now at this current moment today.
With Iran's top negotiator, Mohammad Khalibaf, posting on X today, saying the United States either lacked the will to fulfill its commitment or the ability to do so.
I think Prime Minister Netanyahu is trying to assert his authority and separate the U.S.-Iran negotiations from the Lebanese-Israeli negotiations. And this uptick of military activity could very well be designed to derail the signing of this memorandum of understanding and perhaps spoil the prospects of an agreement.
Okay, what the hell are we even talking about? How is Israel separated from the deal between Iran and the United States when Israel led those attacks with the United States on Iran in February 2026? Like, how dare you, first of all? And of course, Iran's going to say, you need to stop attacking us and our allies and retreat back to whatever you're defined in your borders as today. And the fact that the report is saying that Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to assert some type of dominance, yes, the same type of dominance a child does by taking a massive dump in their pants at the dinner table and forcing everyone else to smell their pooey underwear. It's so ridiculous. And the fact that people have to pay with their lives because Benjamin Netanyahu hasn't got what he wants this time is an absolute disgrace. And why has no one sanctioned them? Like, sanctioning Israel is the least every country can do, right? The very least. Like, forget all this, oh, I'm going to stop selling you weapons. The very least you should be doing is sanctioning this war-hungry, bloodthirsty nation that also committed a genocide.
And US President Donald Trump agrees, but he was less polite, telling Fox News he called Prime Minister Netanyahu and said, "What the F are you doing?" He also posted on Truth Social and said the attacks on Beirut should not have happened, particularly on a special day when we are so close to a peace deal with Iran. The agreement will extend the ceasefire for 60 days, but crucially, it will reopen the Strait of Hormuz immediately. In return, the US will lift its naval blockade and release frozen Iranian assets.
Donald Trump grandstanding like that is just absolutely pathetic from him. Like, I have disagreements with my friends, and guess what? Nothing happens afterwards. And that's exactly what we are seeing in this situation. Donald Trump can be as mad as he wants, but what material actions are you going to take to ensure Benjamin Netanyahu isn't the main blocker of this deal? I'll wait. Oh, yeah, nothing, of course.
But Iran's nuclear program will still be negotiated within the 60 days. Tehran, in the meantime, will agree to neither produce nor acquire nuclear weapons.
Which they're already doing under Obama's deal before Donald Trump came in and ripped it up, because the thing about Donald Trump, he has no original thoughts whatsoever. He just wants to be able to say, I did that. And that is it. So let's see if America gets a better deal out of Iran than Obama did with, you know, sweetness and light as opposed to bombs and destruction.
This is the beginning of what could be the end game. But like we've seen in the Gaza peace plan, there is a nominal ceasefire. There continues to be violence. And there hasn't been any movement forward from phase 1 to phase 2.
Today, President Trump will celebrate his 80th birthday on stage at the White House. But as he awaits an Iranian response, he may be realizing, like many presidents before him, ending a war is far more difficult than starting one.
Oh, you don't say!
Like, once those first shots are fired, everyone either has to get straight to the negotiating table and settle this, or they're going to keep firing to everyone on both sides is dead. And I love how they put in there that Donald Trump is doing even more sports washing to his name, like in addition to him actually celebrating his birthday as a, I don't know what, like this guy wants to be a dictator so badly. It's absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, he's 80. I wonder how many more years he's going to haunt the living with his presence. But yeah, so sports washing with the World Cup, sports washing with this stupid UFC 250 on the lawn of the White House. Like, yeah, terrible guy all round, essentially. And anyone that supports him is also a very, very terrible person, in my opinion. And I would love for you to change my mind on that one.
Sarah Swami there. Our foreign affairs correspondent Secunda Kamani is in Beirut. Secunda.
Well, Aisha, for the second time in a week, we have President Trump using, let's say, colourful language to express his anger with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over a strike in Beirut.
Yeah, so Donald Trump pretending that he didn't know Benjamin Netanyahu was going to do that strike makes a fool of all of us. I mean, all of Israel's weapons were supplied or are being supplied by America. Israel doesn't really do anything in the area without the intelligence provided by the Americans. So for Donald Trump to pretend, oh, I never knew about this strike, and I was very, very mad. I was very mad with him, is just, yeah, silly. Just silly theatre. And I think it's quite funny that this Channel 4 correspondent is actually in Beirut right now. I'd be absolutely terrified that the Israelis would see my brown skin and want to drop a bomb directly on my head because they thought I was either Hamas or Hezbollah. It's like, you're very brave to be out in the night air without any press credentials on you, especially what we saw was happening with other correspondents, like for Russia Today, mind you.
It's pretty clear that Israel is not happy with the prospect of an agreement between the US and Iran. And so many, as you heard in that report, see this strike as an attempt to derail the negotiations at the last minute. We have to wait and see if the Iranians now decide to launch their own strike on Israel. That would, of course, likely see Israel launching further strikes against Iran, further complicating the picture. Tonight, the Israeli military say Hezbollah have fired further drones and rockets across the border into northern Israel.
I don't believe anything that Israel says in regards to rockets being fired into their country. Again, I have to stress, where are your borders? And where exactly in northern Israel did these rockets land? Was it at the castle that you retook in South Lebanon by any chance? Please let me know in the comments.
No side, I think, really wanting to leave any blow unanswered for. Israel had previously said it would not attack Beirut if Israel did not, if Hezbollah did not fire across the border. But what we've seen President Trump pointing out today is that the drones Hezbollah fired did not cause any real damage, and so he said did not necessitate the kind of strike we saw in Beirut. All sides, I think, trying to test each other's resolve.
Well, we saw what Israel did in response to October 7th. They did a whole genocide. Why would they not blow up a whole building because of superficial damage done by drone strikes? Like, that is the Israeli modus operandi at this point, or forever points. Ever since the creation of Israel, they've been taking bazookas to fistfights. It's absolutely disgusting to see in 4K now.
Sek, are we any clearer on what the ceasefire might mean for Lebanon, where you are?
Well, not really. It's one of the big unanswered questions. I'm sure that the Iranians will have been pushing for a full withdrawal of Israeli troops along with some kind of ceasefire. I'm sure the Israelis will have been pushing back against certainly withdrawing all their troops from southern Lebanon, where they're occupying a swathe of territory.
Keep saying southern, it's South Lebanon. Like all this southern Lebanon allows Israel to, you know, blur the borders and say, well, I know we might be occupying it, but if we move in settlers, then does it become ours almost? So yeah, forget all that. It's not called, I don't live in Eastern London. I live in East London. Like it's very defined. All this southern airy furry blurred out language is like quite ridiculous in my opinion, and Channel 4 is feeding into that thinking, and they really need to stop.
Perhaps the Israelis will make any kind of withdrawal conditional on the disarmament of Hezbollah, which is something that I think, frankly, we're unlikely to see.
You don't get to dictate whether citizens of another country should disarm, you absolute arrogant fools. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, Israel, stop, please, for the love of God, stop.
And so if we do not see a full withdrawal, perhaps it's quite possible, even if there's an agreement reached between the US and Iran, the conflict here in Lebanon will continue.
Sekinda, thank you very much, Sekinda Kamani in Beirut.
Israel should start off with disarming their settlers in the West Bank. Forget about trying to disarm citizens of Lebanon. And in all actuality, why should they disarm? They're from another country. They're citizens of another country. What are you talking about? Every country has a right to defense. If anyone knows that any more than Israel, please point them out to me. But yeah, I don't think Lebanon's going to disarm. I don't know if this deal between the United States and Iran actually goes through, because like I said, they still have to wait a few days for it to actually be signed. But if it does get signed, that is a step in the right direction, clearly. And obviously, as we heard in that report, they'll have 60 days to actually sort out what is happening with the nuclear program. But in my opinion, I don't think anyone should take the right away from Iran to have nuclear weapons, especially if America has them, Israel has them, Pakistan has them, India has them, United Kingdom has them. What are we doing? Why would we say that Iran doesn't get nuclear? Oh yeah, and North Korea. But yeah, why would we say that? Oh yeah, and Russia. What am I doing? But yeah, why would we say that Iran shouldn't have them, especially when the only country that has actually used nuclear weapons is the United States of America? But everyone seems to just trust them with their massive arsenal of nuclear weapons all of a sudden, even though they dropped 2 of them on Japan. Come on, people, can we use some sense for a moment? People of Iran aren't just savages just ready to hit the button as soon as they have even closed up the seal on their first nuclear weapon. So yeah, everyone just calm down for a moment. But as we saw, Iran showed you what happens when they are attacked, especially unprovoked, especially during negotiations. They closed the Strait of Hormuz and showed you how much they could really hurt your wallet. They properly put belt to arse when it came to America, Israel, and all of their allies in West Asia. No one should just be bullied for no reason, and especially a country which has been under sanctions by the United States and faced coups by Britain over just wanting to control their own resources. So that's what I think. What do you think? Please put it down in the comments. I would love to read it. If you enjoy audiobooks, I voice one on spotting red flags early in relationships. Link in the description below. And remember, once we understand politics, we will make better choices. Don't forget to hit the buttons for like, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Ciao.